Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. Just kidding. I was putzing around at my favorite store in my hometown of Mesa, Arizona, Bookman's, an entertainment exchange. They got books, they got movies, they got video games, they've got music, figurines, everything that your little heart could ever desire. And I stumbled across something cool. Wappy Dog. So Wappy Dog is a Nintendo DS game and it came out in 2011, but not with just the game, no. It came with Wappy, a robot peripheral dog that interacts with the game IRL. We're familiar with the concept of virtual pet simulation games. You know, I love me some Nintendogs. We've got Neopets, you know, those two are especially nostalgic for me. And we're familiar with games that were accompanied with toys. Neopets was kind of one of those. Webkins, Skylanders, which I personally did not play. Shit, I don't know, Rob for the NES. God, this guy even reminds me of toys like the iDog, the speaker that you could connect to your iPod and it would dance along to the music that you played through it. I wanted one of those so bad, but my dad got me the Furby instead. And then he thought it would be really funny to show me the movie Gremlins, and so I was terrified of my Furby and didn't ever want to play with it. Which, now that I think about it, was probably a ploy to get me to not play with the Furby once he realized how annoying the Furby was.
The Furby circle.
I guess I get where he was coming from. But I want to boot up this little Wappy and figure out what he's got going on. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. Oh my God. I got a clean Wappy with no stickers, since of course I got mine used. However, there are a couple of stickers still in here. I just don't have a full sheet. But you can put things like spots on your Wappy and cute little collars. You know what? Maybe I'll do the... Girl, you are already starting to get on my nerves. Okay, calm down. Jesus, I'm just trying to put your collar on. I think she likes her collar. Yeah, I would say so. Now, because I got my Wappy used, I also don't have the cool box that it came in. It came in this huge, giant plastic box where you could clearly see Wappy, and then you could also see that it was a Nintendo DS game. Calm down. Don't fucking tell me my DS is not charged. The second I want to do something, my DS isn't fucking charged.
Let's boot this puppy up and see what this game has to offer. You can play in either home or travel mode. One is for when you have a Wappy Dog with you at home or wherever, honestly. You can bring him wherever you'd like. No one's gonna stop you. And then travel mode is for on the go with no Wappies in sight. So you don't need to play with the toy all the time. When home mode is active, so is Wappy. As long as he's turned on and within range, Wappy will interact with what's going on the DS through sound. Not like Bluetooth or anything. The Wappy activation sound is actually in the top 10 worst sounds I think I've personally ever heard. It's this really awful, piercing, high-pitched chirp. It is fucking brutal on the ears. But I will say it works great. I mean, you know, my whole building is probably wondering if I need to change out the batteries on my fire alarm, but at least Wappy can hear me. We don't talk through the microphone to interact with Wappy like in Nintendogs. There's prompts on the screen that Wappy will respond appropriately to. You can feed him and even play games, like rock, paper, scissors, Waper Wizards. I accidentally put Wappy to sleep using the goodnight command and he wouldn't wake up, but that was intentional and definitely not a defect.
Wappy, no.
I was really worried there for a second. So was Mimi, apparently. No, she actually doesn't really like Wappy very much. Home mode also has a bunch of minigames to unlock with varying difficulties. Wappy will interact differently, IRL, depending on what minigame you're playing. In Fruit Catch, we're trying to catch the target fruit for extra points, and Wappy will occasionally shake the tree or something, and he makes more fruit fall out. I think he just likes to be involved. In Get the Critters, aka Whack-A-Mole, you face against Wappy to whack as many critters as possible. Wappy kinda sucks though. This game is very easy. The more games you play, the more that you unlock. Penguin's Run is probably my favorite minigame of the bunch. It gets really intense, actually. The more you hang out with Wappy, the higher his friendship level increases, and each friendship level is a year of Wappy's existence. So what does that mean? After 10 friendship, he just fucking dies? I don't know, I actually didn't get that far. Once I had unlocked all the minigames and played through each difficulty level, some games being more cheeseball than others, I decided to go all in on travel mode. This is the more Nintendogs-esque portion of the game. Since you don't have Wappy activated, and now he's free to just do whatever it is that Wappies do, it's just you and your virtual version of Wappy. Here you can get a little more custom with your Wappy Dog, giving it a new color, taking it to new environments, customize its little ears. You know, it's cute. We can also bathe Wappy with a feather duster because it's a robot. Good details. Feed it with a cutesy little cooking mama cutting game. Wow, I love it. And play with Wappy using all of the toys you've unlocked thus far. All of these things raise our friendship with Wappy and allow us to unlock more accessories, toys, food, prompts, mini-games. Yes, there's mini-games in travel mode too. Mostly just the ones from home mode that have been modified slightly. Shake the tree and have Wappy catch the falling fruit. Instead of mole whacking, you're Wappy whacking. And the higher difficulties have all sorts of wacky twists to them. Who is this Wappy imposter? Wappy Mole? Oh my god, I sound insane. The Penguin Run has been modified to be Wappy's race in travel mode, and I guess this is the closest thing we get to being able to walk it. I mean, there's nothing stopping you from walking it in real life, you're just not gonna get very far. These minigames remind me of the old Flash games that used to dominate the internet, actually. They're all pretty fun, even though they're so simple. I'm always gonna advocate for the existence of these cheesy little minigames, and I'm not afraid to admit that they're still fun, even though I am 20-something years old, damn it. Now, this wouldn't be a Nintendogs clone without a whole tricks mechanic. Wappy will unlock tricks as you go and increase your friendship and do certain things. You don't actually have to teach it anything. And you know what? This is totally fine. Wappy doesn't perform tricks in real life, which I would say is probably the biggest oversight, or it was probably just way too complicated to implement. Like, oh my god. It's not like I'm expecting it to do backflips or anything, Jesus Christ. But more than just like the up-down motion, I don't know. There's no competitions to enter Wappy into or anything, so the tricks are kind of pointless. But they're still cute, and you know, it's fun to go and unlock them and have Wappy perform them. But yeah, too many tricks. I don't really know why they exist. It's, I guess, just because it's a dog game. The game tells you how to unlock certain things, so I started playing around with every aspect of the game to see what all I could unlock in just a few hours. Like, all the ear accessories are unlocked by playing with toys, so I spent a few minutes doing that before I ran out of toys to play with. The progression is pretty easygoing. There's no limits on what you can do in a day, or how many games you can play, unlike Nintendogs. That was always so stupid to me. I hated that. You can hang out with little Wapster as much as you want, really. You could probably get to level 10 in one foul swoop if you were dedicated enough. Not me, though. I don't know, guys. Wappy Dog really grew on me. It's sort of just a good blend of minigames and Nintendogs, taking a lot of good things about Nintendogs and leaving the shitty things about it behind, namely the microphone usage and the painful process of teaching your dog to perform tricks. That's probably Nintendogs' biggest weakness, but also its biggest strength, so you know, I don't really know. Wappy Dog is a less sophisticated game, for sure, but that doesn't mean it's bad or anything. I feel like this little guy was just born in the wrong era, maybe. This would have hit so hard if it came out when I was a kid, but I was a full-blown teenager when this came out, so, you know. I'm just saying, it's got like Neopetsy mini-games, a little robot toy, and plays on the DS, which was my main thing growing up. Why didn't this game sell well?
So I'm guessing that Wappy. Sorry. I'm guessing that little Wappy here was Activision's answer to Nintendogs. Even though Nintendogs had already released a whole 6 years earlier than Wappy Dog. And actually, Wappy Dog was released the same year as Nintendogs and Cats. On the 3DS, which the 3DS had already been out for several months, I believe, when Wappy Dog was released. Wappy. But I guess you can kind of get a sense of where we are on the DS timeline. I would reckon that most people that would have bought Wappy Dog would have already aged out of this whole thing by that time. But also, I'm not even really confident that Wappy was advertised properly. I only found a few advertisements online, and to be honest, I was having a hard time finding much coverage of Wappy at all.
These ads aren't really speaking to me. I'm not even sure if these ever aired on TV. This kid looks like she's being held at gunpoint.
Wow, cool. He's so cute.
I guess this campaign was pretty creative, you know, the whole real dogs versus Wappy thing, but not really a lot going on here.
IGN said that Wappy Dog was for kids under 8. So what does that make me, IGN? I'm not sure if this was intended to be like a throwaway game or not. Kind of sad. Wappy deserved better. He did get a 3DS sequel in Japan where Wappy's name is Poochie. They probably had to change the name because there's already a well-known Poochie toy here. The same company, Sega Toys, made Wappy and made the iDog and even Poochie. So that's really interesting. I wonder what happened with the timeline here. I'm not gonna lie, after this great experience I had playing this game, I'm like, I want to pick up a Japanese pink Poochie, Wappy. What the fuck am I even talking about? Because it's pink. You can apparently link up as many of them as you want to, even though you can only have one Wappy in game. They aren't linked to Bluetooth or anything. Wappy actually responds to sounds. This is also it's like the funniest video I've ever seen. I love this person. I mean, this game did sell over 280,000 copies in the US. So there are bound to be people that remember Wappy and can properly memorialize him. And it seems like Wappy had sort of a second life in Japan, but I guess Wappy, he might just be a sign of the times. He might mark the end of an era, really. I am glad that I stumbled across you, Wappy, at Bookman's last year. Who rescued who?
Thank you so much for tuning in for this very quick, very short little banger video. All of my recent videos have just been so long, and I'm working on another one that's gonna be on the longer side. And so I really just wanted to do something short and inspiring. Just a little, you know, creative one-off. Keep the juices flowing. Did you ever have a Wappy Dog? Are you now all of a sudden very interested in getting a Wappy Dog? Okay. She just loves Wappy so much. Personally, I'm very glad that I stumbled across Wappy at my local Bookman's one day. Had I not, I wouldn't even know about this really interesting and cool device and game. Always keep your eyes peeled, folks. I'm gonna link down below. There's this huge master doc that has so much information about Wappy, put together with passion and fire for Wappy and all that it has to offer. And that helped a lot with the making of this video because there's just really not a lot of information about Wappy out there. So if you'd like to check it out or support that creator, please check down below. There's also a fundraiser attached to this video for PCRF. The Palestinian Children's Relief Fund works to aid ill and injured children in Palestine, and they are providing humanitarian aid to children in Palestine who are suffering right now. I would love if you contributed to the campaign. It would be so awesome. And thank you if you do decide to. Make sure to like, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you aren't already. If you liked this video, you would probably like the video where I talk about Nintendogs pretty in depth. I hope that you're having a great day and you continue to do so, and Wappy and I will see you in the next one.